What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mo Currency, back again with another video. Good morning. I just wanted to come out here and give a little recap of my Think and Grow Rich notes that I took last night. Let's just get right into it. All right. So first and foremost, the first thing that I wrote down was that thinking and growing rich starts with the state of mind. Right. A lot of people wake up every morning upset, pissed off, bad energy, talking about how, there's no way that I can make $1 million, in my lifetime with my job. And of course you can, right? Especially if you're making $30, $40, $50, $60,000 per year, right? If you're just depending on your job, you're just depositing money in your savings account, and you thinking that's just going to grow, with the 0.01% yield or interest every year, you're absolutely right. You're not going to become a millionaire, right? Now, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, what do I have to do in order to become a millionaire? Instead of saying there's no way, you need to start asking yourself, how can I become a millionaire, within my lifetime, right? Then you'll start thinking about other things. For example, investments, right? There are so many people that are making 50, 60K a year that can easily become a millionaire, about time that they retire. But you have to lock in, have discipline, and you have to put it in something I call an IPA, which is an income producing asset, right? Whether that's real estate or whether that's the S&P 500, right? The S&P 500 is a great example. All right, so if you have $400, you start off with $400 and you put $400 into the S&P 500, right? That has an average return rate of 10% per year, and you're compound interesting, right? You're compounding that. Every month you're adding $400 into the S&P 500. That gets you a return rate around 10% per year. Over the course of 30 years, that's going to be over $900,000. And that's not even taking into account the dividends that you'll earn, from the S&P 500, which all it is that dividends is something that, companies, corporations pay their shareholders for investing, right? For holding shares. That's all that is, to just sum it up, right? So that's not taking that into account. And it's also not taking into account that, you might get a better job with a higher salary that gives you the opportunity to allocate more money every month to contribute, right? And all that is doing is compound interest. And all that is doing is just adding more money to your pot that's growing over the course of 30 years. So like I said, $400, S&P 500, average return rate of 10% per year, over $900,000 after 30 years. Think about it. All right. So that's number one. And this is not financial advice, by the way. Okay. Second thing, you must convert from a failure consciousness to a success consciousness, right? It kind of, correlates with the first thing I said, right? Your mentality has to be different. You have to have a better mentality when it comes to making money, becoming wealthy, being successful. And that's with anything in life, right? Stop always thinking you're going to fail. Stop always thinking that, things just, when it rains, it pours, things never work out for you, right? Instead of anticipating failure, you need to anticipate success. I do that every day, right? I didn't grow up, in the hood. I didn't grow up poor, right? My parents, we were a typical middle class family. But one thing that I did watch my family do, my mom and dad do, is that they invested in stocks. They made investments, and we were still middle class. It wasn't like crazy investments, but they had a couple, right? They had a couple, and my mom was really good with money. So, growing up, I seen them make a lot of smart decisions. Now, I wish I could say that for myself, especially, graduating college. I made a lot of bad decisions financially. Like my credit was shot. It was terrible. Now, thank God, all of that has drastically changed, because I had to make that decision. I really didn't get mature, man, financially until I want to say mid to late 20s. Mid to late 20s. That's when I like woke up, because I knew something had to change. I couldn't go my life being like this. Now I have a beautiful wife. I have an amazing son. We're going to try for another one sometime here in the near future. And I take care of my family. I make over 6 figures. Like, we got a place to live. We got a nice place to live in. We have nice cars. I go to the grocery store and I don't even think about, my mom asked me the other day, did you see how much eggs went up? And I didn't even notice. I just go to the grocery store and get whatever my family needs. Right? Because I've worked hard to get to that level, and it just didn't happen by chance, because there was a time I was extremely broke. You can ask my friends. Right? They would come to my apartment and be like, bro, what is this? I remember going to the gas station and giving the person at the gas station $1.36 just to put in my tank, because I didn't have any money. I was so broke. And a lot of that has to do with me having bad money habits, and two, I wasn't thinking with abundance. I wasn't thinking about abundance. I wasn't locking in. Or maybe I was thinking about abundance, but I wasn't doing and making the necessary changes that I needed to make, from a personal development standpoint, in order for me to get there. All right, so you must convert from a failure consciousness to a success consciousness. And on top of that, you need to have good habits. All right, if you have the same old habits, if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're getting the same terrible results, that's a fool. You got to make adjustments. You're going to always have to make adjustments in life. All right, so next, a common weakness that too many people have is the habit of measuring everything and everyone by their own impression or belief. Man, that right there is very true, right? I have, I know people that are like that, right? You tell them something and it's great quality, fact-based, statistic-based information. And just because they believe it's not, or their impression of it is different, they don't want to do the proper research to actually look into it. And it's crazy because they're missing out on an eye-opening, no-brainer opportunity that could make them a lot of money. There are a lot of people that are in situations, and it's because they are just stuck in their own ways. And it's sad because there are a lot of people that I see, I'm sure people can look at me too and make, suggest a few changes, to my daily lifestyle or what I do and my habits, and it can help me in a snap of a finger, right? But there are a lot of people that are in places that they do not want to be financially, health-wise, or whatever, relationship-wise. And if they just make a decision, if they just make a few things in their life, it will drastically enhance their current situation, right? So, you have to be open, and you have to stop, drop the ego and take a step back and just look into it. I'm not saying just go off on them and just be like, yeah, I'm doing it just because somebody does it. When people give me advice or they give me suggestions, I hear them out, and I look into it. We have Google, we have ChatGPT, we have all these resources, right? We have all of these resources where we could just easily look something up. If you think every opportunity is a scam, you're going to be broke for your entire life. You're going to struggle your entire life. Every opportunity is not a scam, but it does take some kind of knowledge to be able to, see through the smoke and understand, like, okay, this is a good opportunity, right? So just keep that in mind. All right. So before we can accumulate riches and abundance, we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches, that we must become money conscious until the desire of money drives us to create definite plans of acquiring it. So you must have that dying desire to succeed, period. You have to. You have to have that dying desire to succeed. right? It should be burning inside, like heartburn. But instead of it being heartburn, it's just a desire to just be successful. Man, before I started making, six figures and, having big payouts and doing this, I used to drive through, I still do it sometimes, drive through these neighborhoods, multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar neighborhoods in River Oaks, Houston, looking at all these live houses, right? If I see somebody winning, man, if I see a young black professional, young white professional, young Asian, it doesn't even matter. If I see them in a G-Wagon or a Lamborghini, man, I'm like, man, God bless. God is good. There's a way. That person, good for them. I don't look at people that are rich, multimillionaires, and I don't look at them and just, throw shade and just hate on them. Like, if anything, it lets me know, like, man, there's a way. Like, I can do this. You can do this. All right. So, don't hate on people. Don't give bad energy when it comes to stuff like that, man. Like, embrace it. Embrace it. All right. So yeah, man, that's, just make sure you have that burning desire, because that is a starting point to accumulating abundance and having the riches and the life and the success that you want. My life changed drastically, right? My credit is A1. I got money in the bank. I got investments. My family's good. I take care of them, right? Like, I do think about money, but it's not something that it's like, oh, I got a penny pinch, right? Because I got it and I worked for it, just like you can do. All right. So, man, let's go, man. It's 2025. Let's lock in. Let's get to this money, and always keep God first, man. All right. So, I'm up before the family. Like always, I'm always the first one up. Just doing some personal development. Have to always get my mind right. And we have church this morning, and definitely hitting the gym. I am doing a fast, starting the fast today, and I think it goes through the end of the month for church. But me and my bros, we are doing a water fast today, Sunday, or just liquid. You can't eat anything today. So I will have my coffee, water, and tea today. So let's get it, man. Mo Currency out. And make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Just now starting off. And it's really, like I said, just all about empowerment, man. Like, being the best version of yourself. Like, going to the gym, keeping God first, taking care of your family, getting to this bag, and just good vibes, man. So follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, @_Mo Currency. And I'll holler at y'all boys later.